Oh, yeah?
You ready? Have your attention. Welcome, everybody. Well, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody get a chance to review last month's minutes?
Paul looked at them and had no problem with them on Monday. I went over again and looked for any typos, everything else. I suggest we adopt the March 18th, 2026
So that was a motion.
minutes.
Okay, you heard the motion by Chris. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Pete. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Additions, deletions to the agenda,
There are none.
MPC timeline review.
Those are all up to date.
Very good. All right, let's go into the plan reviews. Docket 2429. Upper Macungie Township Police Station, 560 Grange Road, preliminary final land development.
All right, thank you. This application submitted on behalf of Upper Macungie Township proposes to construct a 29,100 square foot police station at the southeast corner of Grange Park. The project will include associated access drives, parking, and stormwater management facilities. The property at 6517 Saturnia Road was previously acquired by the township and incorporated into the parcel at 560 Grange Road. The existing residential building will be demolished to allow for stormwater management facilities, and an existing accessory structure will be retained and repurposed. This application includes 3 waivers and 4 deferrals from sections of the township SALDO. And I do want to note that we got some revised plans. So the plans that are on the screen are those revised plans, and I was told that they address some drafting issues. And so we can look at these and the applicant can explain what the updates were. But otherwise, that concludes my comments. I don't know if Brad, you want to add anything? Oh, sorry. I do have one more comment. Just a reminder that because this is a township application, the Planning Commission will be the approving body tonight, should you choose to approve it. Just wanted to remind you of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Would the board like to go over the waivers
Certainly.
and deferrals?
Yep.
The first waiver being requested is from SALDO Section 22503.1. This is to have the plan proceed as a final preliminary plan instead of going through the 2-step process. Given the nature of the project being relatively small, Barry Asset has no issue with granting a waiver to that requirement. Second waiver is Section 22704.9C. Curbs shall be required in all non-residential subdivisions and land developments, as well along existing proposed roads, parking areas, parking islands, etc. The applicant is asking for a waiver for curbs along the existing road. Once again, Barry Isett is okay with granting the waiver because it fits with the local character of the neighborhood. Item number third waiver is from Section 22707.4C2E, which requires that basins be screened. The applicant has requested a waiver from not providing the vegetated screening. Barry Isaac has no objection to the waiver because the only place really available to plant screening is on the basin berm, and we'd rather not have trees and shrubs planted in the berm, just in case they would to weaken the berm in a storm event. We're now on to the deferrals. First deferral requested is Section 22704.1G1 from the SALDO. This is where a land butts an existing road that does not meet the requirements of the SALDO for width. The applicant is asking that this be deferred until such time as the township sets about correcting the alignment in Ruppsville Road. Isaac agrees with the deferral for that reason. The next item that they're asking for deferral from is the distance between the edge of the cartway and the center line of the road be equal 1/2 the required cartway width. The property joins one side of the road. That's section 22704(1)H1. The applicant is asking for deferral of that request until the Repsville Road and a portion of Grange Road are updated by the township. Barry Isid agrees with the deferral. The next deferrals for public sidewalks shall be required along the road frontage of all improved roads. They're asking for a deferral is requested on the sidewalks at 222, Citronia and Rumps Road, and a portion of Grange Road south of the access drive. We're okay with this deferral being granted, as is the road alignment will change eventually. The final deferral is from Appendix I, Section 1001. This is for permanent concrete monuments to be placed accurately at intersections in the property line. The deferral is being asked because the township wants to continue to attain additional properties to incorporate into the overall park. Barry Isid agrees with granting this deferral, as there's no reason to add monuments that may need to be removed when additional lands are acquired.
Anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns about the referrals and waivers?
With regards to sidewalks, I presume we are going to be having sidewalks along coming out of Grange Park, correct?
It is shown on the plan.
Coming out?
So there are sidewalks that are proposed along Grange Road. There's a deferral for Citronia Road, and for the drive that goes into the park, there are no sidewalks proposed. And I had explained that the township is working on a Grange Park loop trail. Overall, it's a master plan for the entire park, and so there's the potential to connect to that in the future, but not as part of this plan. And sidewalks wouldn't be required on that since it's not a street frontage.
Understood, but still, like, right across the street, you got the development to get to Grange. It makes sense. We're doing trails everywhere else.
Sure.
That driveway, does that have a street name?
I'm not aware that it has a street
It
name.
doesn't at this point? Okay.
No, that's.
Can you tell us your name, sir?
Robert Ibach, Township Manager.
Okay.
I'm the applicant for this project. At least my name's on the application. I won't call it a private drive because it's for a public park, but yeah, Tim, there is a plan, and we've got some grant funding already this year for a loop trail inside that park. That loop trail will be altered a little bit due to the location of this.
Right, based off of what we had in plans.
Right. So, but there will be a way to connect Grange Road sidewalk into the park.
Okay.
Yeah. We're asking for the deferral on Citronia Road because we're not quite sure how to get through the underpass. Yeah.
Did you have something outside, sir?
Oh, no, I'm just serious. Yes, sir. I'm the engineer.
Okay,
Does that help answer the question?
thank you. Anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Well, they modified the plan, I guess, what, to show the site triangle on that other driveway? Was that,
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So we modified the plan to include the two site triangles on the access road proposed to the existing park.
okay, yeah, it was something we brought up on Monday. too.
Yeah, showing that we don't have any landscaping or sign thresholds.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a good
Number of handicaps.
a good thing to add to the plan, because the architect will base site signage, landscaping off this plan. I just assume that everybody knows where to stay away from. Even in the future, if we decide to do future plannings, having it recorded will help.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
There was one question we brought up about the number of handicap spaces during our workshop, I thought.
That's an engineer's question.
Correct. Yeah, so we are proposing.
and tell us, I'm sorry, tell us your name and where you're from.
Scott Smith, HRG, project engineer for the site. We are proposing 2 handicap spaces for the public facility and none for the police station due to that it's not a public parking facility, it's only for police employees themselves.
Is that gated off somehow?
Yeah, there's a security gate at the front and a security gate at the back that will both have fobs for only police to be able to access. And there's along Citronia, that access is limited to just police vehicles. We're going through the HOP process to get that for just them, but it'll be signed do not enter at the Satronia side as well as interior to the park, similar to what they have now.
They're gonna say it's just set up just like this for public
Yeah,
parking.
it says do not enter Upper McCutcheon Township.
So is that going to be a right in, right out?
It's full access.
Is it?
Correct. I understand that it is currently striped in the center,
Yeah.
but due to it being police vehicles, I think PennDOT is allowing them.
I don't see the striping. Sorry.
It's the median that goes across the center. So there's like the concrete median.
Yeah. So is it a concrete median or is
So
it
the,
striped?
the median, I can point. The median stops before the driveway. So the median, yeah, right there. That's the end.
Got it.
So there's room to.
Thank you.
Yeah, Paul. We are going for full access, whether PennDOT allows that.
Yeah. Just wondering.
Yeah, it's going to be their call.
What if you had an employee who, let's say a clerical employee who's not involved in the actual police function, a dispatcher or whatever, becomes disabled and has to have a handicap? Would you be able to?
So there are dedicated spaces for it, and the parking lot itself is fully ADA accessible, but it's not a dedicated ADA space.
Okay.
So it's fully designed to be.
Yeah, just it's a
accessible, it's
question.
just not.
So basically, we would add it if we need it. There's enough expandability
Okay.
in the
That's
employee parking to accommodate that.
okay. Thank you.
I also think our question was regarding only being 2 handicap spaces. Is there a percentage of total parking spaces that are dedicated to handicap?
There's an ADA requirement for national law. I think there's however many parking spaces you provide, a certain number have to be accessible, and then a certain number have to be inaccessible. So for the amount that we provide, the 2 are enough to meet that requirement.
If I was
For the
remembering,
41.
on Monday, we talked about 2%, and then there's a max. You got the minimum to 2% up to a certain max.
It's a minimum of 2 up to a certain max
Okay.
based on how many
Yeah.
parking spaces you have totally for that. So you look at them as 2 separate parkings.
And the same size?
They're same size.
So what happens if a car comes in a van, a handicapped van comes in?
So the spaces themselves, it depends on how wide your access aisle is. So those are 9x18 spaces with a 9x18 striping. So per the ADA law, it's 8, 10, and 8. So that's actually larger than required. It just, if you do the 8, 10, and 8, it makes it weird to line up your other lines along the outside.
Okay,
So
thank you.
999.
So were there any renderings supplied with this?
Yes. There are 2. This is the first. And then these are the sketches.
Those are the elevations.
Elevations.
So is this a 1-story building or multi-floor?
One story.
Okay.
Slab on grade, no basement.
Nice building.
Thank you. When do you anticipate construction starting?
Right now, Public Works is filling the site, trying to get it onto a subgrade. Hopefully this fall, September, October,
And when do you anticipate completion?
June 28th.
June 28th. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just a general knowledge for myself on the drawing that was up before. You had heavy duty paving and light duty. What's the difference?
Heavy duty paving is the thickness of the base course essentially. So heavy duty paving is 10 inches of 2A stone. I believe it's 5 inches of 25 millimeter, then 2 inches of wiring. Light duty that has less vehicular traffic, just passenger vehicles, you can drop the sections to not have as thick. It goes from like 15 to 11 inches.
Okay. And as far as the impound yard, that's all been taken into account with impervious calculations, all that fun stuff.
Correct. Yeah, so the future area that we're specifying there, that plus the sidewalk are all included in the impervious calculations.
Why do you think you need heavy duty paving back
Yeah.
there?
That's a really heavy-duty section.
Just the size of the vehicles.
Are you getting tanks?
Never
I would
know.
imagine that adds cost. I'm just curious. I mean, maybe a wrecker, but
Yeah, did you say a 10-inch stone base?
Yeah, that's what
So
we're.
you're 10 and 5 and 2?
10, 5, and 2, I believe.
Normally we do 6, 4.5.
Yeah.
So it's not that much more. But the employee area there will be deliveries.
Okay.
So it will be heavier trucks running on it. Plus even asphalt, even vehicles running the constant same path, you start to get those
Yeah.
compressions.
Mhm.
There's a lot of, fair amount of patrol cars in and out over the course of the day.
Where do you stand with your NPDES permit?
We had the informal pre-app meeting with the districts. We had the formal pre-app meeting. We are addressing their comments from the formal to enter the expedited process, but to do that, you have to have the
Right.
clean bill of health to get there.
Because
That shrinks the permit window.
you got like a preliminary one or something for
There's an
this.
existing fill permit for the site. Yes, it's just for,
That's just,
Yeah.
just for the existing map. Before we did the lot consolidation and added where the existing house sits, we got a permit to place fill from the communities that are there to knowing that it would be raised for some point.
Okay.
in the future.
And then you were saying fall to start. Is that what you said? Yeah.
yes, assuming
Yeah.
everything.
There's
else
a lot with that permit. Yeah.
Permit sewer planning module.
And we talked about this will be public water and public sewer,
Correct.
right? Did we figure out what size water main is coming into this? Yeah.
The existing water line running down Grange is 14. and
Okay.
Bringing an 8-inch across, stubbing it out for future extension, and then bringing a 6-inch lateral in.
Okay, thank you. And did we find out where the nearest fire hydrant was out
It
on
is
Grange?
there. The closest fire hydrants are across the street in the cul-de-sac. Not
Okay,
cul-de-sac,
in the
conventional.
neighborhood. Okay,
Yeah, it's just outside the 200 feet, but
Okay.
it's not within that 200-foot boundary.
Okay.
One's on, I think it's Daniel Street. The other one's on the smaller cul-de-sac down
Okay.
towards Central.
and I think I saw that you had a fire connection on this, so the building will be sprinklered.
Yes,
Correct,
absolutely.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, two fire hydrants proposed, one in the southwest corner, one in the northeast, so both sides of the building, and then fire department connection within 100 foot.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Comments? Concerns? You have anything else for us?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You have anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Comment.
Oh, we gotta make a motion first.
I will make a motion to grant deferrals 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, you heard the motion for deferrals 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is there a second?
Second.
Second call for. Any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions on the deferrals? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
I will make another motion to grant waivers of 1, 2, and 3.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's been a second. Any discussion on the waivers? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns about the waivers? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
And lastly, I will make a motion to approve docket 2429, preliminary and final land development plan, pending engineer review letter and comments from staff.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns about the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. You're welcome. Okay, going on to B, docket 2407, Hickory Lane, minor subdivision, 2010 Hickory Lane preliminary final minor subdivision plan.
Great, thank you. The applicant is proposing to subdivide a 60-acre parcel located at the northwest intersection of Hickory Lane and Becker Street into 2 lots. And this is different, just as a reminder that the previous iteration of the plan was for a 3-lot subdivision, so now it's reduced to 2 lots. Lot 1 will consist of 46.59 acres, while Lot 2 will consist of 13.88 acres. The parcel is currently unimproved farmland with several wooded areas. The lots will be served by an individual on-lot wells and sewage disposal systems. No land development is proposed as part of this application. The application includes 8 waivers and 9 deferrals from sections of the Township of Saldo. And just a note about the Vision Zero action plan, and that this plan shows a proposed 20-foot wide easement through roughly the middle, sort of toward the south of the parcel. That's different from where it's shown on the Vision Zero action plan, but is acceptable to staff and consultants. And we believe it's in a good location. That's all the comments I have.
Stan?
Okay, I'll run through the waivers and deferrals. We are recommending approval of all of the waivers and deferrals that we're going to go into tonight, so it skips me from having to say that after each one. So the first waiver is for the scale of the plan. The scale that they're showing is at 100 feet, and 50 feet is required. That would be Saldo 22403.1. The next waiver, the second waiver was withdrawn. The third waiver of 22704.1G1 is a waiver request to the configuration of Becker Street and requiring right-of-way. Again, we are recommending approvals on that. Waiver 4 and 5 were both withdrawn by an applicant. Deferral 22403.4.H is requiring certain features within 200 feet. They do show on their plans enough information for what's going to affect their property, and for the most part, that's really their property isn't affected by all the off-site stuff anyway. Deferral is 22403.4.K17. The requirement to show contours at 1 foot intervals also being asked for. Deferral of Saldo 22403.5.B and Saldo 22710 for providing landscaping plans, which will be deferred to when land development comes in. Deferral of 22-403.5.C for requiring an ENS plan be provided and approved by the Lehigh County Conservation District, which would be deferred until land development. Deferral of Saldo 22-703.3 for the access drive. They do show the access drive that they can get access at least on one spot on every single lot, on both lots, so we're okay with that one. Deferral number 11 has been withdrawn. Deferral number 12 is requested to submit to the required NPDES permits and the deferral would be until land development plans are submitted. Number 13 is a deferral of 22-709.1, which is again the exact same section as above for 707 and the deferral of the NPDES permit till the land development. Number 14, deferral is 17-303 is erosion and sediment control plans being prepared. Again, they're asking for them to be deferred until land development. Deferral number 15 has been withdrawn by the applicant. Deferral number 16 of 22-403.5.E is basically saying that they will provide a utility plan when they actually have a house and they know the location and where the utilities are going to run. And again, that would be deferred until land development. 17, a deferral has been withdrawn. 18 is a waiver of 22-704.2, street right-of-way and cartway width for widening of Becker Street. They are asking to waive the widening of Becker Street and not provide any and leave the cartway the way it is. Waiver of Saldo 22-704.2 for this right-of-way and cartway width for the widening of Hickory Lane. They are asking for a waiver. They want to provide, given the fact that they're so minimal back there, that they're looking to do a 20-foot wide cartway so that basically 2 cars can pass each other. Number 20 is a waiver of Saldo 22-704.9.a for the installation of sidewalks along Becker Street. 21 is a waiver of 22-704.9.a for requiring sidewalks along Hickory Lane. And then finally, the waiver, and we do note that both of those for Becker and they need to correct the section on the plan and in their request letter. And then the last two are waivers of Saldo 22-704.9.c. 22 is for Becker Street and providing curb, and 23 is for Hickory Lane and providing curb. You have any questions on the modifications?
No comments, questions, concerns?
No, on those, no.
All right,
So Stan, in your review letter, if I remember correctly, you had a walk with the applicant for comment number 1 recently to identify the improvements
Yes.
along the roadway. And your owner's okay with that?
We just got a geotechnical report.
you want to stand up, sir?
I'm Mark Bradbury from Martin Bradbury and Griffith. Yeah, the walkthrough was just a few days ago. So obviously they want us to provide sketches, which means additional topography, working with a geotechnical engineer. So we're in the process of working through all of that starting this week. So we're hoping to have something put together within a week, probably a week or two, to come back to the engineer and see if it's satisfactory for what you're requiring.
But you seem to come to an agreement in the field?
Yeah, there were a few different things that we discussed that maybe we may be able to improve the existing cul-de-sac a little bit more, but it's not on our road frontage. That's in front of the Hoovers. But we said we'd look at that. Just little bits and pieces here and there.
And Stan, you feel comfortable with the discussions held in the field?
Yes, like I said, some cases we're widening each side of the road. Some cases we're widening only on one side. But yeah, some trees have to come down along the edge of the road. So we were very judicious in how we were looking for it.
Thank you. And so, second question just is concerning the trail. So the location shown where the applicant wants it is good from the township's point of view?
Yes, we're fine with it.
Okay. And you're good with where it is, obviously, because that's where you showed it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Is there a motion?
I just to carry on forward with conversation from Monday, I think with respect to the walking path, whether that would be an easement or a fee simple, I think I'll look into that and have that be a decision of the supervisors.
Right.
Correct.
And that'll be for both of these plans, this one and the next one, correct?
Just for, it's
I think
actually
it's
the next.
actually for
act.
Hassan.
Hassan,
Yeah.
I jumped ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Because this one
Better
was
to
going to
be
be an
early.
easement, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend the Board of Supervisors approval of deferrals with the modifications for numbers 8, 10, and 16. Break it down into 4.
Okay. You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll
Wait,
second.
So we're doing 8, 10, and 16?
Yeah.
The approval for deferrals with modification. I'm gonna break it down to 4 separate ones since there's some with modification, some without.
Okay.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Sorry, who seconded that motion? Just so I have it recorded. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion for approval of deferrals for 6, 7, 9, 12, 13, and 14.
There's been a motion for approval. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Pete. Any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
And then making a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to approve waivers with modifications as noted in the staff's letter for 20 and 21.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second been made by Ray. Any discussion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Finally, I'll make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to approve waivers 1, 3, 18, 19, 22, and 23.
You heard the motion for the waivers. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Pete. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, is there any questions, comments, or concerns in the audience? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
And lastly,
You said that before.
yeah, I know. I guess I'm jumping
Second
ahead of myself. Going to recommend that we will recommend to the Board of Supervisors that we approve docket 2407 for preliminary final land subdivision, conditioned on staff and engineering letters.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Paul. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, is there any comments, questions, or concerns in the audience? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, docket 2421, Housing Creek Minor Subdivision 2021 Hickory Lane, preliminary final minor subdivision plan. Meredith?
Thank you. The applicant is proposing to subdivide a 43-acre parcel located on the east side of Hickory Lane, north of Becker Street. The subdivision would create 3 lots, of which lots 1 and 2 would consist of approximately 15.5 acres each, and lot 3 would consist of 11.2 acres. The parcel is currently unimproved farmland with large wooded areas requiring woodland preservation. The lots will be served by individual on-lot wells and sewage disposal systems. No land development is proposed as part of this application. The application includes 4 waivers and 9 deferrals from sections of the SALDO. And regarding the Vision Zero action plan for this particular application, there were 2 options that were submitted for the multi-use trail. One is shown in the location as depicted in the Vision Zero action plan, and another one is shown along an unnamed tributary of Hassan Creek. And the preference from staff and consultants was for option 2. That's all the comments that I have.
And Mayor, and we do need them to pick an option when they make the recommendation.
Right.
All right, the waivers and deferrals are very similar to the last one, if not the exact same, so I'll run through them very quickly. Waiver 1 of 22-403.1 is just for the scale of the drawings. Waiver 2, 3, and 4.
Stan, unless there's anything different from the last one?
Nothing is different from the last.
You can save your voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns about those?
No, but I just want to clarify. So we have not done any action on any of these yet, correct?
Correct.
All right. It's just that the applicant had a plan note and he kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. No worries. Thank you. Okay, so on Monday night, we talked about options 1 and options 2, and obviously, I guess you're okay with either one?
I don't know if you look at option 1, we had some very steep slopes. The township's not concerned about that. It is an option. It's shown on the plan, so we were willing to offer to you. We just looked at without having the 2 plans side by side, where Hickory Estates trail would come to Hickory Lane. within 20 feet of that would be the connection point if we run it along the stream. Otherwise, you'd have to go about 1,500 feet up Hickory and then make a turn to the east. So that's why we picked that.
So, and you're good with option 2 also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, very much.
And then on Monday night at our workshop, I know we talked about whether that alignment along option 2 should be an easement or fee simple. And I don't remember, was that in your letter, Stan, or did that just come about?
Mr. Bradbury brought it up.
Okay. That's what I
And
thought.
that's what Mr. Schatz was talking about
Yeah.
That's where I
earlier.
jumped the
that
gun.
They're going to
Yeah.
look into
No
it a
worries.
little bit.
So you're comfortable with it if the township decides to take it as fee simple?
I assume so. It's along the little stream that's on the bottom, there's a 20-foot wide buffer on either side of the stream. So the trail would fit inside that buffer, which makes anything unusable there. So if you give it to them fee simple, you would lose the acreage off the lots, but you wouldn't have to pay tax. And then you wouldn't have to have agreements with, these people doing this and that. The township would own it. So that's your decision. If you don't want to give it to them fee simple, it's an easement. They basically have the same rights.
I would just look at what the details are. I don't think I have a preference either way. If you would ever work, as long as there's no, red flags on plan.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we can
Andrew will
work that
take
out.
care of that.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with seeing what you have to come up with.
Okay. I have to vet that a little bit further, but,
No
we'll
problem.
work it out.
And so do the Board of Supervisors, because ultimately
Oh,
they're the ones that
certainly.
need to make
Right.
a call
Right.
on behalf. We're just advisory. Okay. And this one does not require an NPDES either, right?
They're asking for the deferral to when
To
we're
the when it's
developing.
land development for lots, okay. All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to recommend deferral requests 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15, based upon the comments in the engineer's review letter.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chris. Any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of waiver requests 1, 17, 18, and 19, conditioned upon the comments in the Township Engineer Review Letter.
You heard the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Chris. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye, sorry.
It's okay, we figured you took a nap at your age.
I did take a nap.
Motion's passed.
And finally, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recommend preliminary final minor subdivision plan approval for docket number 2421, conditioned upon the comments and staff and engineers review letters dated April 10, 2026, with a further condition that we recommend location of option number 2 for the multi-use trail. And I offer no comment as to whether we recommend fee simple or an easement. I'll second.
Motion by Paul.
I'll second that.
You already seconded it. Tim already seconded it. He got you on that one. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Going on to docket 2392, 6939, Roseville Road preliminary final land development.
Okay. The application proposes the expansion of an existing topsoil stockpile and the construction of 2 additional storage/soil screening buildings to support landscaping business activities. The property includes 2 single-family detached dwellings, which are existing nonconformities and are to remain, as well as several accessory buildings. The proposed buildings would be 3,000 square feet and 2,400 square feet, and the plan includes associated erosion and sediment pollution and stormwater management controls. This application has already been to the Board of Supervisors, and they had granted approval under Resolution 2026-12 for 10 waivers and 2 deferrals. However, there is 1 additional waiver request as part of this application, and I'll let HRG provide more details on that.
All right. Before I get into the waiver and deferral, just an update on the plan status. The applicant has been before us for review at HRG 4 times so far. We, have seen this in its preliminary final form those times. They have their MPDS approval, they have their HOP, and from my last discussion with LVPC, they were intending to issue a consistency letter for Act 167. And as for the modifications listed on our letter, modifications 1 through 12 have already been approved by the Board of Supervisors. And as Meredith said, they have 1 additional request, which is to waive the 30-day submission timeline to go before the BOS. HRG's stance is to recommend approval based on the status of the plan as mentioned, and the bulk of the comments that remain within our letter are minor comments which should not impact, this plan at a planning level.
Okay, and so, I'm sorry, did you say they have their NPDES?
That is correct.
Okay, awesome. And LVPC is planning to issue their consistency letter.
That was their intent last time we spoke.
And is there any sewer planning associated with this?
There is not.
Okay, awesome. And they have their HOP.
That is correct.
Okay, awesome.
Got to do the waiver, right?
So basically, the question you just asked, the plan's pretty far along.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Sean Paliselli with Gilmore Associates, the engineer for the applicant. Yeah, at this point, since this is a preliminary final, that waiver got approved. The intention was, the plan is pretty cleaned up at this point. And so it's, our intention is to take the same plan that you're seeing before and pass it directly onto the board. However, the way the ordinance is written, there's an option to clean it up in between then, since the plan is already far enough along that it's a pretty finalized state, to not wait that additional 30 days plus a review time and, losing about, a month and a half before we get it before the board to get the plan cleaned up. So that's the 1 additional waiver request we're here before you.
So do we need a motion to actually discuss the waiver? Or can we discuss it without making a motion first?
I think you can, if you want to discuss it without a motion, you can, but proper procedure would be to have a motion and then open up for discussion.
Is there a motion?
All right, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to recommend waiver number 13.
Okay, you heard the motion. Is there a second? Second by Tim. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Well, yeah, so we had a lot of discussion on this at the workshop meeting, and the board has different views on this as to whether or not to recommend approval of this or not. Like, I'm a practicing land development engineer as my career, so I don't have an issue with this. It's in our ordinance, and it is ordained, and it's approved. So whoever wrote the ordinance evidently allowed for this, right? And I don't want to speak for my planners, but there was also a lot, and I understand their point of view. There was also a lot of concern that this would be setting a precedent, because in general, the Board of Supervisors likes to see a perfectly clean plan before it comes to them, right? So that's the background on why we're discussing this right now.
Yeah, and I'll defer to your solicitor, but I don't think there's anything that making a waiver or deferral on any particular unique plan gives precedent to the next applicant in line justification to demand that same waiver.
No, I agree that it's not setting a precedent. Each one's viewed separately and based upon the status and the condition of the plan. So we had these discussions on Monday. If the plan seems to be ready for action, then I believe that the approval of the waiver is appropriate to get it to that next stage.
And a little recap, just, this plan, we're not proposing any houses, any utilities. Like, this is a topsoil stockpile. The buildings themselves are literally just a hoop structure. There's concrete bin blocks on either side, and then they get strapped and fastened to those. They can put them up and take them down within 2 days. So that's the only, structures, which is why we have to go before land development in the first place. Other than that, it's essentially a pile of dirt.
To HRG and to use Paul's terminology, how perfectly clean is their plan? In your opinion?
I would say minor drafting comments remain. The only quote unquote external approval is their PP&L easement, which is not, related to the plans, and their agreements with the adjoining properties. And then stormwater cleanup is some minor modeling, which again should not impact the plans from a planning perspective.
Yeah, the most complex part of it was the stormwater, and only was downstream of the fact that we're retroactively compensating for the improvements that were done on the front half of the site. And we have to do separate calcs for LVPC, for our DEP permit, and for township, which all have to comply with those slightly different regulations and be consistent with one another. And the little nuanced of, minor tweak here, minor tweak there to get everyone compliant and consistent is kind of the last little bit of cleanup.
And just to add on to something that Anderson stated, there was I guess, an agreement of sorts from the neighboring property owner about, and that's not what we were looking for. We wanted something that would be recordable, that would be binding on the successors in title. And I'm sure that your attorney could draw that up, speaking along the same lines. The opinion of title, the only thing that was submitted was a title report, not an opinion of title. So either title insurance in a minimum amount provided to the township, or a letter in the form of an opinion from your attorney stating that the dedication of land is suitable and there's nothing on the title that's going to prevent the township from using that area.
Yeah, and again, just to clarify the jargon, these are all administrative items of cleanup that aren't going to change the planning aspects of it.
No,
still
I
the
just
pile
wanted
of dirt there, stormwater basins where they are, erosion controls where they are, and then just getting all the background legal things ducks in a row to before we record it.
Bring that up, not to prevent action being taken, but just to say, let you folks know that that does need to get done. That can be done, after the fact, but it's we need to satisfy that.
And even from the board, like, we expect a conditional approval conditioned upon getting all
that's
I dotting and T crossing, the administrative signing, sealing the plans.
I think
There's
that's
all that
in the
last
review
minute
letter.
stuff that happens before you actually record the document.
So based on this conversations I'm hearing from engineering and from Andrew, is it basically the approval is so close, there's just minor things to begin with. Why do we even have this request for a waiver? I know it says it in the saldo, but if you removed it and we approved it, then it's up to the supervisors. And then there's the point's moot, because we don't have to have any conjecture for the next person that walks in the door who wants to.
It's the requirement to submit the plan, which then starts the review clock again, where we said our intention is to submit the same plan. So in that case, if we were revising the plan in between there, it would make sense. Okay, now you have a new plan. Make sure you review it, check it, make sure those last things are done. Or because it's far enough along, we want to get the same plan in front of the board. Or it's far enough along that it's ready for the board.
Am I-
So what, yeah, so what he's saying is if we grant the waiver here, if we recommend the waiver here.
Right.
They can, and correct me if I'm wrong, they can be on the May agenda for
Right,
the
rather
Board of
than, rather than
Supervisors.
June, yes.
Rather than the June, or, I mean, can they still make the, is it the June or would it be the July?
I think that if they would have to submit and they would not be able to go to the Board of Supervisors in May, the meeting is May 7th, and I think the submission deadline would pass. So they would miss the June
Right, so
submission.
they would, so
deadline.
it's, if they,
So
if we
we'd be
grant the
bumped to
waiver, they
July.
can go to the May meeting. If not, they're on the July meeting.
Or they would have to put a submission in without knowing whether they have the approval from the board
Yeah.
in May, submit for June, just
Right.
as a precaution.
I'm really confused, but that's okay. So if we turn down the waiver, they gotta wait till like July? Is that what you're saying?
No, if you deny the waiver, it still needs to go to the Board of Supervisors. If the board takes action to deny the waiver, then they need to resubmit. But I'm saying they could always submit before they have the determination by the board in order to guarantee the June meeting.
And so are they on the, I'm sorry, so are they on the May agenda of the Board of Supervisors either way?
They will be, once you make a recommendation tonight, whether it's approval or denial of the waiver, it will have to go to the board
Okay,
in May.
okay. So they're going to the board in May regardless.
Okay.
It's just a question of, and the board can, we could always pass it and the board could also deny it. And
That's
that's just, you know, how the ball rolls, right?
You all say about the, I don't like setting a precedent. You say it doesn't, I say it does. By looking at what we've done in the past.
You could take no action on it and let it go to the board without action. But again, I don't see that it essentially clears the runway for them to get
To me.
to the heart of the approval in front of the Board of Supervisors, rather than having this little hurdle possibly in their way.
Since you represent us and you represent the board, when they come before the board, I'm sure you're going to be active enough to say, this is what the planning commission was thinking. And that would kind of shift the onus on the supervisors, you know, and they say, well, okay, we understand that, we approve it. Versus,
It's not that we don't like the plan, it's, I don't want to set a precedent, which you say we're not, but
I mean, if you take no action on the waiver, but yet still recommend
the plan.
approval of the plan, that gets them before the Board of Supervisors, sort of letting them know what your intent was, but putting that waiver request on the board. It's, as I just described on Monday, it's an awkward process.
So we're no clearer than we were Monday.
We got the motion out there. We need a vote.
Or I think there's a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I either need to withdraw that and then we need to have a motion and a second for no action, or my motion needs to fail or tie. But I guess if it fails or ties, then or gets approved, then that's the decision.
Can't, we have 7.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, not only was I sleeping, I can't add.
Yeah.
So we vote and it ends up where it ends up.
That's the simplest way.
Yeah. What, vote on it?
Yeah, the motion's up.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. And is there any further discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No.
no.
Sorry, can we just,
It was 4-3, 4 ayes.
Yeah. So I.
Aye.
it's Tim and I? Okay, so
4-3.
Okay.
All right,
When have we ever had something that close in like 10 years?
all right, the motion is passed.
Okay. Hold on, let me just make a note. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a recommendation to grant preliminary final land development approval for docket number 2392, conditioned upon the comments and staff and engineers review letters dated April 10th.
Everybody heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I amend my motion just to remove that date because there's various dates on these. So,
Okay,
sorry.
there's been a motion and Ray has seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I just have one question.
Answer.
It's for soil stockpile. Would anything change if it was not to be soil? Like mulch, for instance?
Meaning whether it had to go through the land
like,
development
I mean,
process?
Mulch, I just think of like mulch, fires, obviously stockpiled soil isn't as, like, would you ever have any intention to change it to something else? Or is that like
Not that
I don't know if that would change anything in development but.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's the bulk.
You don't want to play with the
stockpile.
loader, huh?
What's that? It's the bulk topsoil stockpile operation portion of their business. They're actually developing another property in Lower McConchy Township for their headquarters and I assume that's where they would do any mulch stockpiling.
It's kind of a dumb question.
Dumb question.
No, it's a good question, actually.
I'm good.
They can have the fire in Lower Mac, not in Upper.
Exactly. We'd be quicker.
Is there any other discussion or questions on this motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, docket 2395, 6045 Ruppert Lane. Final land development.
Okay, the applicant proposes the construction of 25 townhome units on an existing vacant parcel. The plan proposes to access the lot from a private driveway extending from the existing cul-de-sac of Ruppert Lane. The community is intended to be served by both public water and sewer. The plans also include site improvements such as sidewalks, storm sewer, and a stormwater management facility. On December 4th, 2025, the Board of Supervisors approved docket 2395 for preliminary land development under Resolution 2025-45. The applicant did also receive approval for 3 waivers of the township's saldo and are requesting 3 additional waivers as part of this plan. As you recall from the preliminary plan process, there was the question about the unopened stub street at Steeplechase Lane, and that has since been resolved. So those are all the comments I have.
All right. Like last time, I will go over, the plan status. Now that we're in final plan, they have their LCA, will serve and system design approval. They have their MPDS. They have their LVPC Act 167 consistency, and their sewage facilities planning module is in review by DEP. So, as Meredith mentioned, the first 3 modifications listed have already been approved, and the additional modifications are numbered 4, 5, and 6 within our letter. There's going to be a little more discussion on these ones, so maybe we go through them individually and allow the applicant to comment. The first request is for using an alternative backfill from Saldo Appendix 1, 611.11I. HRG is opposed to this waiver as the township, even though they will not own the access drives are privately maintained and such. The sanitary sewer would be owned and maintained by the township, so we would like it to be constructed with PennDOT 2A stone backfill instead of an alternative backfill.
John, what's the alternative backfill?
So it might be a little bit easier if I give you a little bit of history, how we ended up here late in the game, what the ordinance says, exactly what we're requesting relief from, and then exactly what we're proposing. So to start, the township infrastructure construction specifications have some slightly conflicting language. It's been enforced, it has not been enforced consistently over the last couple of years. The current project that we're working on, the Glenlivet Drive extension, I'll read you the ordinance first, then I'll get into how that was applied. So section 600 relates to sanitary sewer construction. 611.11D states that all utility trenches shall be backfilled with select material and shall be properly compacted with approved mechanical tampers to a minimum compaction of 97%. Compaction testing is required and shall be performed as determined by the township engineer. All unsuitable or unstable material shall be replaced with suitable backfill material. Part G, all trenches backfilled with earth shall be allowed to settle for at least 180 days before the permanent bituminous base course or pavement may be constructed. Then the section that we requested the relief from, I, within the township roads or township right-of-way or paved area, or in improved areas, upon proper installation and compaction of the bedding pipe and envelope material, the trench backfill shall be with PennDOT 2A stone material. Historically, that was enforced. We had to use 2A stone backfill in any existing township roads. In those cases, the roadway had to be reopened to traffic, public traffic, immediately, or as close to immediately as possible. In developments with proposed roads, we were allowed to use the earth backfill. There's a long waiting period for that material to settle. If there is any void areas, those become evident before the actual roadway is built on top of that area. So, and that is the way that it was enforced on the Glenlivet subdivision. The internal roads did not use all stone backfill. On Main Street and Hoff Road, existing township roads, we did use the stone backfill for the full depth of the trench.
And that's in general conformance with industry practice too.
Yes.
Among every municipality.
Right, and just to clarify, there's separate sections. This is from the township standard details. The actual pipe, the stone envelope around the pipe, and up to 12 inches above the pipe, according to ASTM standards and AWWA design standards. That is the structural component of the pipe. The backfill above that contributes load on top of that, but the structural strength comes from the actual pipe and the sides of the trench. So there's no, and we are going to build that exactly according to the township specifications. So there's no structural deficiency here. There's no chance for anything related to the pipe. What this changes is the actual stability of the road. So by using, what we want to use is what I refer to in the waiver letter as select backfill. The township specifications call it select material. PennDOT specifications call it suitable material. There's different terminology we can use, but we're going to follow PennDOT standards. The PennDOT standard, we would follow the township specification for earth backfill, but also PennDOT Pub 408, Section 206, and Section 601 3F3. That allows earth backfill above the pipe envelope. So we would follow all those standards. We would have a geotechnical engineer observe this during construction. Township engineer as well can witness that during construction, make sure the appropriate compaction and testing are performed. What that does is it provides a uniform, consistent native material across the width of the road so that we don't have a column of stone that has different properties from the remainder of the width of the roadway. That eliminates any chances for voids in the stone or the interface between dissimilar materials, making a path of least resistance for water that's in the road subbase, ends up in the pipe trench, and it can convey water where we don't want it or lead to sinkholes or other I&I problems with the sewer, other stability issues that we don't want. So typically, this waiver was not required. We did not find out. We would have requested this during the normal preliminary plan process. We didn't find out that this was a required waiver until after the preliminary approval. Another builder had come to us and was pricing this. The contractors can't price this unless they know exactly what the backfill material required is, so they can know what they're actually going to build. Another builder came and informed us that they had a townhouse subdivision in Upper Macungie that had private roads. They were required in 2024 to come before the Planning Commission, the board, and get a waiver from that section. So with that in mind, we wanted to make sure that there is no ambiguity into what is required and what we're going to build. What we're proposing is to use that select backfill, select material, suitable material, whatever term you want to use, but
So
following the
this has
township
been
and
the
PennDOT
industry
specs.
standard generally, correct?
Yes.
Then they should easily have just priced it out because they know the industry standard from the other places. The only difference is that particular municipality decided to give them a waiver, and.
Oh, no, this was Upper Macungie.
This
This
is
is
us.
us.
This
Okay.
is
This is us like a year and a half ago, sounds of it.
October of 2024.
Upper Macungie.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about the contractor on another project
Well,
did different things.
Contractors were pricing our project.
Yeah.
So they needed to know if they use earth
Well,
backfill or stone backfill. And
this-
it's ambiguous in the specifications, which is the appropriate one. So for years, the section that refers to in township roads was interpreted to mean in existing township roads. In roads that don't exist yet but may exist in the future, because of that long waiting period after the earth backfill is placed in the trench, the 2A stone backfill isn't required. The 2A stone backfill was only used in situations where the roadway pavement needed to be reopened to traffic near immediately or as quickly as possible.
But HRG is saying differently that they believe it should be.
So there's something that you clarified tonight that you didn't have into in the reset in your rebuttal as to why you were looking for it. And that is that the envelope around the pipe and the 12 inches above the pipe would be done with the 2A stone.
Yes, and our request letter may not have been exactly clear. At the workshop, some of that came out, so we wanted to be able to clarify and make sure everybody's clear exactly what we're requesting the waiver from. The HRG letter specifically talked about the structural stability of the pipe, so it seems like there was a little misunderstanding that we were doing something differently with the pipe envelope. That's not true. We're doing the stone pipe envelope up to 12 inches above the pipe.
So to summarize, in the past, we as a commission have approved this waiver on different developments. It sounds like there was miscommunication initially with regards to what was going to be actually around the pipe, thinking it could be whatever as opposed to 2A. You clarified tonight that we have 2A there and the additional foot or so above that is going to be per code. Sounds like you are willing to grant this then based off what he said tonight, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Is there a detail on your plan set?
Yes.
You know what page? Roughly?
You don't know that off the top of your head.
It'll be back in the details, Meredith.
I just don't know how far back we're going.
Okay.
Here?
No, that shows inlets, but
That's water or sewer details? That's sewer details. Hold on.
Page 12, at the lower right.
Bottom right corner.
This is 10. So you said page 12?
Yes.
Bottom right?
There we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Keep going down.
There we go, bottom to bottom.
That's it
Okay,
right there. It
right.
says pipe bedding, trench, and backfill
Yep.
details. It shows that we will have the top two where it says typical trench in earth and typical trench in rock.
And that says select backfill above the pipe? I can't
Yes.
read it.
Yeah.
Okay. And your
Yes.
select backfill in this case is the PennDOT 2A.
We'll have PennDOT 2A following the township cross section, 12 inches above the pipe.
Yeah.
That's the one.
You good with that?
The
Yes.
de-
Okay.
That's detail 1-5 in the township infrastructure construction specifications.
That's right below that detail on the plans, by the way.
Oh, if we go down,
Correct.
keep going, Mary.
John,
There it is.
John, what was that?
Yes.
You said that the waiver was granted with a previous application?
Yes,
And do you know what that was?
yes.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember what townhouse.
Resolution 2024-42, Hidden Meadows Phase 3, additional waiver approval. I think they came in for
2000,
the
I'm sorry.
waivers during construction.
20,
They came through just for that waiver after the plan had been approved.
okay.
Do you remember that? It was a separate modification request. We only considered the modification request at that time.
And what was the,
Hidden Meadows.
okay. Yeah, I remember this and because I thought there was some conditions imposed on that.
Okay. Were there?
What's that?
Were there conditions imposed on the previous backfill waiver?
There is a number of conditions. And I think some of these are stated in their request. The owner must retain a testing agency or geotech engineer to provide full-time observation, perform lab testing of soil material proposed for use as backfill. Additional lab testing shall be performed each time the material changes or every 3,000 cubic yards of material placed. Soil proposed for use as backfill shall be maintained at a moisture content within the laboratory. Moisture density curve shall be placed in trench and horizontal lifts. I mean, there's, I'm at D and it goes up through M.
Oh,
I think it
sounds like
might
he's
save,
really
save
milked
you.
that one for all it's worth.
There's,
So it's standard industry practices on,
Yeah.
If,
yeah,
if,
that's what it sounds like. Having backfilled trenches, it just
Yeah,
sounds
you've
like what
probably
we
done
do.
a few.
I've done a lot of them, and had to run jumping jacks and everything else. So it sounds like you're just following.
we're going to follow what's in the
Yeah.
township specs for earth backfill.
You clarified
We'll
it when
follow
you
the
said you had
PennDOT
the 12
specs.
inches above at that point.
So if you wanted to refer to the township specs for earth backfill and PennDOT specs,
I'm sad.
I think that might save you a few words. If you want to read all that into your motion,
No.
that's fine too.
That's good.
So Stan, with the clarification that they're doing this PennDOT two-way stone in the true pipe backfill and going back to select backfill above it,
Then we would be okay with that.
right? So do they even still need a waiver?
No.
Okay, so then our recommendation should be that it is our opinion that waiver 4 is not required.
Correct.
And you're in agreement with that?
I feel like I made such a compelling argument that it was not even required.
Take the wins when you can. Take the wins when you can. Okay. Okay, on to number 5.
All right, moving on to waiver number 5. This was for a waiver of the time period to place wearing course after the placement of base course. There's a section in the ordinance, the one that they're asking for the waiver of, that requires a 2-year wait period. There's another section of the ordinance that states you can place at 90% occupancy of residential dwellings. HRG recommends approval to allow them to adhere to the 90% occupancy of structures rather than the 2-year wait period based on the size of the development that they're proposing.
Okay.
Anybody Anybody have any questions on that one? Go to number 6.
To number 6, this was a request of section 22705.3H, which was to not provide basement level sewer service. This plan has been submitted in its preliminary form and final form with basement level service shown as feasible, and is currently shown on the plan that's before us today. HRG's stance on this is that it is able to be provided and shown as feasible on these plans, and a hardship has not been presented to, not construct as proposed on the plans.
Well, when we get to this, I'm definitely in agreement with the denial of the waiver, because in past we've had developers come in within the township and who said, "Oh, we can't do it because of the structure of the rock." Well, there's no bedrock around there. There's no granite within this thing. It's mostly shale, just like the rest of the township, and it can be done. And it's just a cost-effective thing for a contractor to come in. And then we start getting into pumps, which are a maintenance nightmare for.
Tell us why you think we should approve it.
So when we come through with any preliminary plan, the code requires us to provide gravity sewer to the basement. So it could be any builder, any model home. It could be, when we're looking at single family dwellings, they may sell lots to, each one could go to a different person building their own custom home. So we have to build in the preliminary plan that flexibility that everybody could have gravity level service. What we've been finding over about the last 10 years or so, a lot of builders, especially for townhouses, where the utilities are very compact, they only have 24. In this case, we actually have 28 feet, but they've got gas, electric, water now requires 2 water laterals, one for the drinking water and a separate one for the fire protection services if they have sprinklers, and a sewer lateral. With all those pipes combined into a narrow space, what the builders do is they put an ejector pump in the basement, and that is how each of these 25 units will be built. There will not be gravity service from the building to the street. So because that's the way they're building the homes, and that follows code, that's allowed, that keeps the lateral at about 4 to 5 feet deep. Because the laterals from the home to the street are shallow, that leaves the gravity lines under the street, the main lines that the township will own, unnecessarily deep by about 3 feet. So if we go to sheet 8 on the plans, the sewer, when we build it, it is perfectly feasible to build it where we have it designed. It is about 7 feet deep under the existing conditions. So when our contractor builds it, it is at a reasonable depth. But the roadways in this area, because of wetlands and high groundwater near the basin, the roads are being built up by about 3 feet. So what that leaves is township-owned mains in an existing road, 10 feet deep. That can be an issue for maintenance when they have to go into manholes in confined spaces, or if there's maintenance or repair, if they have to get to those mains, they have to dig 10 feet down.
But John, that's not the homeowners. So
no, that's the township. That would be townships.
I understand that. And,
yeah.
And I've been in many manholes to do exactly what you're talking about also. And I've also been with your site engineer on a project where I previously worked, where it did not get approved and we had to get all those utilities in those trenches. We did. So I don't know. You're going to have for me, having been there, you're going to, I just can't. I don't have a.
So I just want to clarify here. So are the proposed townhouses going to have basements?
Yes.
And even though the sewer is deep enough in the street, the builder's only doing ejector pumps?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to use my old engineering hat and say that's stupid. But moving on. Okay. That's stupid. Every time the power goes out, your toilet doesn't work. But anyway, that's not the purview of this board. So is your intent of this waiver to leave the mains in the street to the depth you've designed and the laterals just come in and pop up?
If the waiver is granted, we would revise the plans and the mains in the street would be raised up 3 feet so that they would be below the storm and water, but not unnecessarily deep. Because we're not going to take advantage of that additional 3 feet of depth, it doesn't make sense to put it in that much deeper. If we're putting public works personnel in a repair situation and we put them in a 10-foot trench where we could have done a 7, there's OSHA data that says that the risk of a fatality increases significantly as the trench depth.
But that's why they make trench boxes.
Yes.
So you're willing to go through all the hassle and engineering expense to basically redesign all your utility layout to pull these up a couple feet and deal with the additional comments you're going to get from HRG.
The other unique situation in this, for this site, is the groundwater. There is seasonal high water tables. We're crossing between 2 pockets of wetlands.
Then don't put basements in, because you also have to deal with that. And though you're going to have to put pumps in there for some pumps to do that, but that's going to go into not going to go into the sanitary. So if that's the issue, if you're using groundwater thing, just don't put basements in. People can live without basements. All they become is catch-alls for all your stuff. So,
I can't deny that.
Huh? Yeah, we won't go there. But I don't know. I can't.
So we also have another thing we're looking at right now is all sewer service laterals shall be designed, and that's the laterals to allow for basement service. So the sewer lateral should be in at the depth, whether they're ejecting it up and then bringing it down or not. And so they should be providing everything to the home.
And I believe that ends at the right of way. So they will be deep in the roadway easement.
I could take you to a townhouse development in the township, which this board approved off of Worley Road, where the sewer lines come in, and they're generally right at the steps as you're coming down. So it precludes the fact that you can't even box the things in to finish your basement because of all these coming in, and it just it doesn't work. My answer is going to be no matter what you say, because I've already been there and seen what the ramifications of going this way.
Okay.
So Stan, the comment you just made, that would preclude them from taking it from 10 to 7? Are we talking about the depth, or the comment you made, where does that come into the scheme?
Yeah, they would have to keep the main lower, because
Even
then
at 10.
right.
They can't raise it to 7 even if the waiver is granted.
Correct, because then they still
That
don't.
changes what you said earlier.
Right.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Anything else, Anderson?
Nothing on this waiver.
Anything else on the plan?
Nothing particular to note besides the fact that, I think the biggest comment of note is to get the mulch trail appropriately shown on the plan, and that's.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing Stan's reminding me of is to just clarify while the applicant's here, if they could address how solid waste, refuse, and trash is disposed of, if you have that information available.
The trash will be individual pickup.
Individual pickup, as each homeowner has to contract with their own hauler?
If it's not handled by the township, then it would be, I think the HOA would probably set up that contract, and then they would pick up a toter
On a trash
can at each unit.
And the township's position is with private roadways and the access driveways and parking courts, they don't want to bring their municipal services in there to pick up refuse and recycling. So that would be on the HOA to find a company to come in and do that pickup.
Yeah, one of the engineers in our office lives in Upper Macungie. He said the township sets up Whitetail Disposal to come pick up his trash, and he pays in his quarterly sewer and refuse bill. He pays for that. If that isn't covered by the township, the HOA can certainly organize that, and they'll probably use the same hauler.
Yeah, because we would certainly want unified trash pickup. We don't want 18 separate garbage trucks in there, or however many units you have.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
That's not ours.
Can you confirm we wouldn't have 25 separate individual contracts?
Okay.
We wouldn't
Every
have
day is
25
trash day
separate
in Bethel,
contracts.
in the city of Bethel. Every day is trash day.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. And you saw comment number 1 concerning ADA spaces, to clarify that? in the
Yes.
Letter? Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to do exactly what this says, but we will address all of these
Yeah.
comments
Okay.
with HRG.
Question in those notes, the 2.8, is that grade across the parking spot itself? It's just my own general knowledge.
It's gotta
See
be
that,
less
but
than
what
2.
does that mean?
It's the entire parking area. So it's, if you have 2 parking spaces and an aisle between, you can't be in any direction, diagonal, longitudinal.
2.08.
Yeah, you have to be 2.08.
So if they're in different parking lots, the way they're shown, it's just the space.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just so you have, if you're getting out of a vehicle, where you have a lift, you want to have a flat surface to take somebody out of a vehicle or get out of the vehicle yourself, whether you're wheelchair bound or some other mobility issue. You want to have
Somehow I
a
think
safe
10
flat
degrees on a
surface.
wheelchair would be a problem.
Yes.
Just a tad.
Not getting out. Stopping.
All right, anything else?
I think that's all from me.
Do you have anything else, sir?
I rest my case.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Is there any motions that we would like to take care of right now?
I'll make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to approve waiver number 5.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve waiver number 5. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, is there any comments, questions, or concerns in the audience? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed for waiver number 5.
I will make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to deny waiver number 6.
You heard the motion to deny waiver number 6. Is there a second?
I'll
Chris?
second that.
There's been a motion and a second to deny waiver number 6. Is there any further discussion on it? Any comments, questions, or concerns in the audience? Hearing none, all those in favor of denying number 6, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed to deny waiver 6.
And then I will make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to grant final land development approval based on staff and engineers' comments for docket number 2395.
You want to make a notation about waiver number 4?
Yeah.
Not
That's
being
being
required?
Okay, sure. Make a motion to clarify that waiver.
Shall I rescind waiver number 4?
It's up to you.
We're
That
going
would be
to
cleanest.
rescind waiver. Okay. I do
I'll
not
listen to the
rescind.
boss.
I do not rescind.
Okay,
You already have a motion on the floor, though.
correct. So I'll pull the motion back,
Okay,
recommending final land development.
all right. You didn't have a second on that, right?
Not yet.
Okay,
Then I will make a motion that waiver number 4 is not required per saldo.
you heard the motion. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion on that motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed. Tim?
And
2 out of 3.
Thanks. Good night. Thanks, Dan.
And then
Thanks,
I will
Anderson.
make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors final land development approval for docket number 2395, conditioned upon staff and engineers review letters.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Thank you.
Thanks.
John, do you get the attorney's rate for this?
Okay.
Close.
No public comment?
Don't give them any idea.
Do we still gotta talk about that?
No. I was saying, he never stated his name, but
Okay. Oh, we know who he is.
Oh, I thought we did. I thought we said we were gonna-
No,
No, we're
sorry. Never mind.
with this booster station.
Do you want to officially accept the letter?
We can. I'm okay with it. Should we just do that?
Yes.
All right. You want to introduce the item?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. It's here somewhere. Okay, next on the docket is the Lehigh County Authority Upper Booster Station. I have that letter here. Where is it?
This letter?
Yeah.
We'll make it easy for you.
Right here, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. It's,
Mr. Chairman, as discussed during our workshop session, the board was in agreement with LCA's proposal that an upper booster station was needed in this area of this township. Per our suggestion at Monday's workshop meeting, Meredith prepared a letter to Pennsylvania DEP. We have a copy of such. I have no problems, and I agree with the statements of the letter. And I would recommend that we approve Meredith to send this letter.
okay.
That work?
Yeah, works on.
There's been a motion.
Yep.
I'll second it.
And Chris has seconded it. Any discussion on the motion? Anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
There's been a motion by Paul. Is there a
I'll
second?
second the meeting.
Second by Chris. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Chuck, does everyone has their jacket off tonight? Does that